a creation of Allah.
Say Thomas, Jazakallahu khairan. Inshallah, I hope that we will listen starting from now. And I will give him the microphone and also the finger, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. First of all, I'd just like to say to the brother, Jazakallah khairan, being very shy and be very respectful when he called me Sheikh. I'm not a Sheikh, I'm a brother who does reminders for the youth, but he was just trying to respect me and so forth and show his gratitude. But the scholars are the scholars and they're far from normal people like me. But I thank the brothers for the generosity, for being kind for me and all the good manners that they've shown me since I've come up here. And basically, as the brother said, he wanted me to touch on a hadith that talks about the 7 people that will be shaded on the day of judgment when there's no shade except the shade of Allah. But I want to be really formal with you guys and really speak to you on a personal level, because we have to be real with each other, we have to be honest with each other. And unfortunately, in this day and age, when you mention Allah said, Qala, Qala Rasul, the youth, most of the time, straight away they switch off. Because shaitan is, when you're young, shaitan gets you to the stage, when you leave the prayer, when you're into music, when you're into hanging around with the bad crowd, that as soon as you say Allah said or the messenger says, your brain switches off. As soon as you hear Allah says and the messenger says, your mind locks off, or your concentration is gone. You know, shaitan makes you, I don't want to hear this. So, the reality of the situation is, mashallah, I hear up in Bolton that, mashallah, you have a lot of brothers practicing, but obviously there must be a lot of brothers that are not practicing. So just take that benefit in which relates to you. Because I'm a convert to Islam. Not only am I a convert to Islam, I'm someone who lived on the dark side of Jahiliyyah. I've been to some dark places, some bad places and so forth. And the reason why I do these talks is because I see a lot of good, young, pure Muslim guys born into good Muslim families with a mother, a working dad, you know what I'm saying, a praying dad, a loving mother. I start seeing how growing up in this country is starting to affect them. And especially music. And music is not just something you listen to, it's a way of life. So the whole thing is that basically I'm trying to save the Muslim youth from the many big mistakes I made as a non-Muslim. Because there's no reason why someone born into a Muslim family should make the same mistakes as a non-Muslim. You have a million times more guidance and benefits that should keep you away from that lifestyle. But the problem is that if you're youth and you're into music, this life is glamorized to you. So you will see a young boy called Ahmed or Sharif or Muhammad or Abu Bakr, and you know, he has a beautiful life. You know, he slept last night, he slept in a nice beautiful bed with a nice beautiful pillow, a nice beautiful sheet. You know what I'm saying? He woke up in the morning, he had the nicest breakfast, he could choose Cheerios or Weetabix. You know, he has his mum washes his clothes, he has many clothes to eat out of. Sorry, he has many clothes to wear, or you know what I'm saying? He has a nice life. And you know, he doesn't have to eat out of a garbage bin. When it's raining outside, he doesn't have to sleep in the rain or the snow or the cold. You know, Allah has blessed him. And his mum loves him more than himself and showers love with him. And his father's always provided for this and that. But something happens to this pure, good Muslim boy when he leaves the house. He comes out the house, the headphones go in, he starts screwing up his face, starts walking like he's been shot in his leg, starts walking aggressively. You think, what happened to this guy? He's no longer Abdullah, he's like Abdullah 2 double barrel shotgun, or he's not Malik no more, he's Malik Machete, or everything's changed about him. You think, what happened to this guy? Why is he walking around with this screw face, with this angry face, with this walk and this, that and the other? Why? Because he's put the headphones in his ears. He's hearing gunshots, he's hearing beats, he's hearing rapper, west side, north side. And his mind is gone. Following a life he knows nothing about, wanting to be bad. And why would a person want to be bad? Why would a person want to be evil? Why would a person want to be fed? Why? Because music is not just something you listen to, it's a way of life. And you can't live both. You can't live the Islamic life, and you can't live the music life. They contradict each other. And this is the whole thing about where the hadith comes in, because the hadith mentions 2 people. It mentions 2 people will be on the day of judgment. See, because in this life here, and even if you're not involved in it yourself, you know people like this, Muslim brothers, Muslim sisters, who are into this music and who are slowly and slowly, they're leaving their prayer. You know, the hijab is coming off, you know what I'm saying? The phobia is gone, you know, and as day by day goes on, you're starting to notice there's less Islamic things about them, until their name is just Abdullah or Sharif or whatever and stuff, but they listen to music, smoking weed, got girlfriend and just that and the other. Her name is Aisha, but she's wearing skin tight trousers, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's got a shishi kafir, and there's no Islam left in them really, apart from their name. But the reason where this hadith comes into play is that there's 2 hadiths from this, there's 2 points of this long hadith that are relevant to the youth. Because a lot of youth, they spend this life trying to walk with the hard face, trying to walk with the aggressive walk, trying to, you know, walk with the aggressive body language their whole life, trying to get into music and weed and all this stuff, shisha kafs and gangs and all this stuff. They spend their whole life doing this, only on the day of judgment to lie to Allah and say, I didn't live this life, I was a good boy, I didn't try to walk bad, I didn't try to be tough, I didn't try to walk around with an angry face. So the 2 points of this hadith that apply to the youth are, 1, that the people will be shaded on the day of judgment, when there will be no shade except the shade of Allah, is 1, is 2, is the youth that spent his life practicing. Yeah? This is 1, because it's natural when a person starts getting old to practice. When people start getting old and they start, you know, they start getting pains in the joints, and their hair starts turning grey, and their back starts turning over, your friends are dying. You're noticing it takes you 5 minutes to walk a couple meters. Death is around the corner, so it's only wise. It's only wise to practice. There's nothing else. You're not going to go clubbing with your walking stick, you know, and your false teeth and go, you know, for some girls and stuff with your walking stick and your, you know what I'm saying, and your teeth are falling out. It's like that. You haven't even got energy for it. So everyone starts to practice when they're old, because it's not a smart move for even people who are not practicing. So the real benefit is when you're free, when you're young, when you have the strength. That's when the real benefit is practicing. When everyone else is smoking, drinking, shisha kaf, nightclub and this, that. That's the real benefit, because you're saying, look, Allah, I don't have to practice. I cannot practice. But I'm choosing, because you've given me eyesight, because you've given me hearing, because you've given me mind, I'm choosing to practice regardless what everyone else is doing. I'm choosing to use my free time because I believe that you're Al-Hakim, the most wise. I believe you're Al-Samir, the all-hearing. Al-Basir, the all-seeing. I believe it. And I know that if I do this when it takes effort, you will be with 1,000,000 times more. Everyone starts practicing when they get old or when they're in trouble. We, unfortunately, us Muslims, we use Allah, astaghfirullah, like a spare tire. So you'll find a brother, he doesn't pray, he slams the door in his mother's face, he turns up music while his mother's speaking, he kisses his teeth like he's a Jamaican or Yardie or something when his mum's trying to talk to him. He has no rahmah with his mum. But all of a sudden, when he gets into trouble with some boys and they want to stab him up or shoot him with that, he comes to the masjid, he starts making dua like this, starts crying and starts this, that. But as soon as he gets out of the fitna, that's it. He never prays or anything else. Or a girl, like she's out there, you know, she thinks she's special because she gets a couple likes on Facebook because she's half naked and this, that, and the other. Walks down the street in tight clothes and guys whisper at her, this, that, and the other. No prayer, no remembrance of Allah, anything. Then some guy asks her for a number. She translates that in her head that he loves me, gets her pregnant, dashes her, tells her don't phone my phone again. And then she's crying in a corner, reading Quran, you know what I'm saying, starting to be righteous and do all this stuff. Yeah? But as soon as the fitna goes away, then she goes back to, you know what I'm saying, clubbing or whatever, or this, that, and the other. So the whole thing is that the benefit is practicing when you're free, when you're young, when you don't have to, and everyone else is around you sinning. Because it's easy to follow the crowd. It's easy for a person to put some music on. It's easy, you know, for a sister to walk down the street with hardly any clothes on. It's easy for you to be in a group of boys and hold up one boy on his own. It's easy. Yeah? But not following the crowd, not listening to the music, staying with brothers that are on the team. That takes effort. Not anyone can do that. Any sister can walk down the street half naked and guys will come whisper at her. But not any sister has what it takes in her mind to be a wife. So the whole thing is that the person that will be the youth that spent his youth on the deen in the masjid, he will be shaded when there is no shade on the day of judgment. Because the thing is this, is that I don't think we really realize what hellfire and judgment day is like. We don't really think about it. We don't really reflect on it. We don't really concentrate on it. Most of us just think that we can just, like, they have this song out called Astaghfirullah YOLO. And I'm sure every Friday and Saturday you have Muslims nodding their head along to it, dancing to it, this, that, and the other. YOLO means I only live once. You know? So basically you've got Muslims, one of the articles of faith is to believe in the death resurrection. We believe as Muslims that there's going to be a day of judgment and we're going to be raised. But you have Muslims who think they're cool in clubs, all dancing along to this song and this, that, and the other. This is shirk. These things are dangerous because they can take you outside of Islam. If you're not careful, these things can take you outside of Islam. But anyway, you have Muslims listening to this song, loving this song and so forth. But the thing is that on the day of judgment, if we haven't, there's people going to Jannah and there's people going to Jahannam. Now, the Muslim boy who is there at home, you know, his mom asks him to do stuff, he kisses his teeth. You know what kissing your teeth is? Or, you know, slams the door when his mum's trying to talk to him, or raises his voice when his mum's talking, he's playing on his phone and this, that, and the other. It's like, be quiet. The people, for us to go to Jannah, there's a mode, and this mode was set down by the Prophet, the companions, and the rest of the servants, the people that came after him. There's a certain way for us to escape the hellfire. There's a certain way you have to be a mode that's been cut out for us. One, you have to understand your deen, Tawheed. What is Allah and what isn't Allah? Can I pray to Prophet Muhammad or can I not pray to Prophet Muhammad? Can I pray to sheikhs? Can I not pray to sheikhs? Do I believe in good luck charms? Do I believe in horoscopes? We need to know this stuff because this is what makes us go into Jannah. Now, you have your belief in Allah. I don't know if people know this, but the Quraysh, why were they kuffar? If anyone answers, don't worry, I'm not going to put in the spot, I'm not going to make fun of you. Does anyone know why the Quraysh were kuffar? Don't worry, even if you get it wrong, it's not a problem, it's just a question. Anybody know why the Quraysh were kuffar? No.
I think they associated items with Allah.
Okay, mashallah, very good. See, the thing is that when you ask most Muslims, why were the Quraysh kuffar, the people at the Prophet's time, why were they kuffar? Most of them say they didn't believe in Allah. No, they did believe in Allah. But the problem is they believed in others alongside Allah. So they believed in Allah as the main God, but they used to sometimes for rain pray to this God, for wealth pray to this other God, and this and that. That's why the shahadas, a lot of the times the shahada, it is translated wrongly. Most of the time you see the Shahada translated as, there is no God but Allah. But that doesn't really make sense, because a Christian can say there's no God but Allah. And then what does it prove? They say that there's no God but Allah, and they say it's Isa. We say there's no God but Allah, and we say it's Allah. But what, it doesn't prove anything. The actual Shahada is that there is no God that has the right to be worshipped except Allah. Meaning that you may worship Jesus, you may worship Buddha, you may worship Shiva, but these people, you may even worship David Beckham, but all these people ate, slept, went to the toilet, or they have some human deficiency. So the whole thing is that the reason why Islam is the truth is because we're the only religion. Yes, every religion tells you to help the poor, help the elderly, be kind to your parents. But the only religion that worships God, believes in worshipping God alone, is Islam. We don't believe in worshipping no half God, man God, woman God, monkey God, elephant God. No, there's God and there's His creation. The creation don't become the creator, and the creator don't become creation. That's what's different about us. Because you can help all the old people, you can be nice to your parents, you can say go do marathons for poor people. But if you worship the devil or a man or a statue, you cannot get into Jannah. Because Mother Teresa, Jesus, Buddha, they do not allow people into Jannah, and they do not keep people out of Jannah. They do not control who goes into hellfire, and they do not control who keeps people out of hellfire. It's Allah that does that. It's the God Almighty that does that. So the whole thing is that the Quraysh, they believed in Allah, but they believed in gods alongside Allah. Yeah? So the whole thing is that this, for us to get into Jannah, our Tawheed, our belief has to be right. Yes? And after the Tawheed, if you read the hadith in Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, you'll see that after worshipping other than Allah, most of the time, the sin that comes next is disobedience to your parents. You'll find this again and again and again, hadith after hadith after hadith. So it's impossible, even if a person has his Tawheed in check, but he's one of these people that's kissing his teeth and slamming his door and turning the music up while his mother's talking and makes tears come out our eyes. All this woman does is pray, love you, and clean your clothes and look after you. Pray, love you, you know what I'm saying? And look after you. And some brothers have no rahmah with their mothers, speak to her like a dog and stuff, and they make tears come out of her eyes. So can a person like this walking around with this attitude, with the Jamaican walk and this kissing, how can this person get into Jannah? You don't have to rob someone, you don't have to stab with him. How can a person like this? So we have choices as Muslim men and Muslim boys, we have a choice. Because a Muslim is someone that submits to Allah's will. Yeah? That's what a Muslim is. Someone that submits to Allah's will. Now, even we choose to be Muslim out of our free choice, and where our Tawheed is correct, and how we treat our parents is correct, and we're nice, and we walk down the road like a Muslim, humble, you know what I'm saying? Not intimidating people, not giving people bad looks and this, that, and the other. We don't swear, we try to have rahmah with people, and this is fitting the mold of the Prophet, the companions, and the rest of the Salaf and these people. And this type of person will go into Jannah and avoid their hellfire. Yes, we're not perfect, we may sin, but what we try to do, we try to stay away from the major sins, and we try to, repent if we fall into them. But the character, because it's a character, it's a cartoon character. The guy that's just always screwing up his face. I'll be quiet, man. I'll shut your mouth, man. I don't talk to me, man. I've got to see my friends, man. Who are you talking to? Move. That kind of person is over with. The person that on his Facebook you see with his... The thing that scares me, wallahi, this scares me as a person coming who's been stuck for life in jail, prison, gang, this, that. What scares me as a convert to Islam is that, alhamdulillah, we all woke up with Iman today in our hearts. Like, if I say Jannah to you, it means something to you. If I say Jahannam to you, it means something to you. If I say Yawm al-Qiyamah to you, it means something to you. If I say Hellfire, it means something to you because you have Iman. This thing is not promised to us. Alhamdulillah, you were fortunate to be born into a Muslim family with a praying mother and father, this, that, and you've been given a man, but What scares me is when I see Muslim brothers and sisters on Facebook, you see a brother named Ahmed or Sharif or what is it, or Mustafa, whatever. And we all sin because we're human beings. But Allah tells us that if we sin, we should be ashamed of it, no one should know, and that we should make tawbah. Because the Prophet said, all of my ummah will be forgiven, except those who broadcast their evils. They're those people that sin openly. But what scares me is you have brothers on Facebook born into Somali, Moroccan, Eritrean, Sudanese family. They smoke weed so their eyes is red, blurred red, yeah? And what they do is they're on the council estate with all their other Muslim friends with that red eyes, yeah? Spliff in their hand, yeah? A cup of alcohol, yeah? Big smile on their face. Not only doing that, but then asking someone to take a picture and then sharing it on Facebook. Basically, you're saying, excuse my language, I don't give a damn about Allah. Not only do I know this is haram, I'm going to take pictures of it and I'm going to show millions of people. Dude, these brothers on Facebook and Twitter and all these brothers doing this, do you think you can keep on doing this and Allah won't leave a man in your heart? Do you think you can purposely get high, have red eyes, have a big spliff, have a cup of alcohol, all our major sins? And not only do that, then ask people to take a photo of it with a big smile on your face and keep on doing this, posting on Facebook, and you'll be left with a man in your heart. Because the thing is, people don't understand. You see, Iman, once it's taken out of your heart, it doesn't matter if your dad is Hafiz or your dad is a ruler of a country or your dad is a sheikh or whatever. Once Iman is taken out of your heart, yeah, it doesn't matter if you know rich people, influential people, bad man, rude boys, you cannot get that put back in on Allah unless Allah says so. And if you die without Iman, if we die without Iman and we leave this earth without Iman, it's not Jahannam for 100 million years, 100 trillion years, a billion years, or a million trillion years. It's for eternity. Forever and forever and forever, you will be in a place where you are blind. You feel alone, and the rahmah Allah is taken away. Every piece of enjoyment is taken out of everybody. Every piece of relax is taken out of everybody. Every piece of tranquility is taken out of everybody. And Allah sends the angels to crush, break, and snap you for eternity. And Allah is pleased with you being broken, snapped, and in pain. So do we just keep on thinking that because we have Iman, because the hadith that says, whoever says Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadur Rasulullah will enter into Jannah. What do we think? Because we took Shahada, we got some 007 license to sin or something all our life. Well, I took Shahada. But the hadith didn't say. There's another hadith that also says, whoever said the Shahada sincerely. And how can you sincerely take the Shahada and not pray when the Prophet said the difference between the believer and the disbeliever is salah? So we live in this world where sisters are half naked on Facebook, cleavage showing, taking pictures in their 90s and this, that, upload their face, a big smile on their face. Because they can't. There's two types of people that sin. There's a person that sins, yeah, and he may laugh and joke, there's a person that sins, yeah, and when the person sins, he's down, he's upset. He may listen to music and he listens to it, and after he thinks astaghfirullah, but he's not happy that he's trapped in this sin, and he tries to give it up, and then he falls back in, and he tries to, and may Allah make it easy for him to get over. That person is fighting the sin. They're engaged with fighting the sin, but they feel bad about it. They're not happy about it. They make dua for Allah to take it away from him. That's one type of person. Allah has rahmah on that person, and eventually helps that person over it. But the person that sins and then not only is listening to music, but is sharing it on Facebook and taking a picture of him making music or listening to music or smoking a spliff or got red eyes and this, that and the other. You can't be both. You can't be sorry that you're sinning and also uploading a picture with a big smile on your face. You can't be both. Either you're sorry about it and nobody knows about it, or you try to do it in private, or you're a person who doesn't care and you're boasting about your sins and you're showing the whole world. You can't be sorry. You can't be sinning sorry and also uploading it online and stuff like that. So the whole thing is that don't be a follower, wallahi. You already know in your heart what is right and what is wrong. Don't be following the crowd and doing this stuff and just following the crowd and just being a yes man. Because imagine Allah has taken the iman out of some of these people's hearts, and now they no longer believe, they just do it, they're just smoking the spirit, they just like, oh, drinking alcohol, this, that. But deep down inside, they don't even believe in Islam. But you're in the picture and you're smiling too just to go along with them. Allahu Alam, if Iron Man doesn't get taken out too. Don't follow people, because when you go into your grave, we're going to be asked 3 questions. Man Rabbuk, who's your Lord? Yeah? Man Dinak, what's your deen? Man Nabi, who's your prophet? But it's not like you're going to be able to get a piece of paper, or just have your phone and just go, yeah, you know, my Lord is Allah, my deen is Islam, and what is it, my messenger prophet. It's going to be if your life attested to it. So if you went home listening to West Side, East Side, bam, 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 blah, 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 and you go to sleep with your headphones on with that, or you go to sleep with swear words and this, that, and the other, you got women in hot pants and all this stuff and fat Land Rovers in your head, and you go to sleep with that in your ears. Say you die in your sleep, when you wake up, what's gonna come out of your mouth? Or it's not even your mouth, what's gonna come out of your heart? It's not gonna be, no, Allah, Islam, and Prophet Muhammad. Rap lyrics are gonna come out. That's what's gonna come out. And so the whole thing is don't follow people. Follow what you know to be the haqq. The other point of the hadith of the 7 people that will be shaded on the Day of Judgment, when there is no shade, is the two people that loved each other for the sake of Allah, and basically they met each other on the love of the sake of Allah, and they ended it on the sake of Allah. Basically, brothers who are brothers to each other, Jazakallah khair. Brothers who are brothers for each other. Because you're either brothers for the sake of Allah or brothers for the sake of shaitan, that's it. If you brothers, mashallah, you call each other to go Jummah, you always sending each other books or lectures or talks or this, that and the other, you always, you know what I'm saying, like, trying to beat the brother, come to memorize a new surah or this, that and the other. Alhamdulillah, you're blessed, you know what I'm saying? Your relationship has barakah in it, it's a beneficial relationship. But if you are on Facebook, who sending yourself pictures of different sisters and this, that and the other, calling each other for when to link each other to go shishi kafir, this, that and the other, or sending each other, you know what I'm saying, just haram stuff and that, then Yawm al-Qiyamah, your friendship, you're gonna end up hating each other. You're gonna end up like, I mean, really hating each other. Obviously now you don't think about it, but Yawm al-Qiyamah, you're gonna be saying, oh Allah, please chuck him in hellfire. Most of the 90% of the stuff he sent to me, I didn't send it to him, he sent it to me. You see what I'm saying? It's useful. So the whole thing is, at the end of the day, you just have to choose your friends wisely. Like the hadith, we all know the hadith about the perfume maker. If you hang around with the person who makes perfume, even if you're not making a perfume, some of the nice smell is going to come off of you, you know? But likewise, if you hang around with the blacksmith, you might not be making those swords, you might not be molding anything as the blacksmith does, but some of the dirty smell and the blackness is going to come off on your clothes. You see what I'm saying? So you don't need to do nothing wrong. You don't need to be a bad person to fall into haram. Let me give you an example. Right now, right this second, right now, all over the world, you have Sharifs, Mohammed, Ahmeds, Mustafas, Jibrils, people born into Muslim families. Right now, they're getting told by a judge, right this second, right now, all over the world, you are going to jail for life, and you will never come out again. And you're going to die in jail. Why? Ahmed, Mustafa, Sufyan, whatever. What were they doing? Because the problem is when we're young is that we think we know everything, yeah? So what happens is that
You try to give someone who's young dawah or explain something to them, and they don't listen. They're just like, oh, this waste man with a long beard is trying to chat to me. Come on, you don't know nothing about life, man. Come on, man, get out of my face. Like, so we all think that everyone older than us when we're young has just dropped out the sky at that age. They haven't grown up, they haven't been young once or whatever. But the point is that this young boy, he's now going to jail. Why is he going to jail? He's going to jail, do you know why? He wasn't bad himself. He didn't rob anyone. He wasn't bad in the he just decided to hang around with the wrong crowd. Yeah? Now, what did this crowd do? They were hanging around like normally, just time on their hands, not doing anything. But a group of them decide what they're going to do. They're going to go into the city and they're going to smash the jewelry shop window, yeah, and take the jewels. So they go down there. They don't really tell whatever Mustafa or Sufyan or whatever. He's just hanging around with them. Next minute, they smash the window. They take the jewels. What happened? One of the old women that work in the shop tried to stop them. One of their friends, they hit her in the face. She goes down. You know, she dies of a stroke. Now Ahmed never did anything, or Mustafa never did anything, but he was there. Now, what is it? You're guilty by association. He's doing life in jail now. It's not robbery, it's murder. Okay, but the thing is that if you had tried to say to this brother a month before, a week before, whatever, be careful with your things, what is it? Don't hang around with these people, they're bad for you. He would just say, get away from me, you worst man. You don't know, I know what I'm doing, man. I know what I'm doing, I've got it figured out. Because we all know 100% I know what I'm doing. But you know how Shaitan got into that stage? Because Shaitan is not dumb. I don't know if you know how the first disbelievers, like we know that it was Adam, yeah? And we know that Adam believed in Allah correctly. He sinned, but he repented. But Adam believed in Islam correctly. He wasn't an idol worshipper, he wasn't a kafir or anything like that. He believed in Islam correctly. I don't think we know as Muslims, we should know this because this is basics. We're Muslims, we should know how shirk came around, how disbelief came around. Should be common knowledge to us. But the way that disbelievers came around, because Adam and his family, they were all believed in Tawheed, they were all Muslim. But what happened is that all the way up to the time of Noah, people were they were worshipping Allah normally. Not believing in good luck charms, not praying to no saints, not praying to no sheikhs, not praying, not believing in any hocus pocus. They were okay. Then what happened? At the time, before the time of Noah, there were some righteous people on Tawheed, on the correct belief in Allah. Now, they died, yes? And when they died, watch how smart Shaitan is. When they died, Shaitan comes to them. And he goes, look, these people, they were righteous. They were the most righteous people in the town. Now, you guys ain't as righteous as these people, so what you should just do is just make some statues, yeah, to remember them. Just make some statues, so when you see the statues and stuff like that, then what can happen? You can see the statues, and then they will remind you to be good, and there'll be a motivation. So they made the statues. Now Shaitan's smart, he didn't rush it. Shaitan, not dumb. He didn't rush it, like we're gonna see with how Shaitan gets a Muslim sister to take off hijab and get pregnant, or make a Muslim guy end up in jail and do life. So after that generation, they build a statue now. Now when that generation passed away, the next generation come. What did Shaitan say to them? You know why your forefathers, you know why they made these statues? They used to worship them. And then what happened? The people started worshipping them. So Shaitan never come to anyone straight away and say, make a statue and worship it. Because that's clear shirk. That's like, nah. Waited till one generation, build up these idols, make statues, remember them. So people said, yeah, and they built it and started remembering. And then what happened after? Next generation come, when their memory didn't know about this style, he said, yeah, your forefathers used to worship. And they started worshiping. And that's how the first disbelievers came about. Now, this is how Shaitan gets us. Shaitan don't come up to a brother who prays in 5 prayers and does his sunnah, got beard, wears kameez every day. No, don't come up to you and say, go rob a post office, go rob a bank, go do zina with this girl. Shaitan don't do that. You know what Shaitan does? Shaitan makes you do things like he makes the prayer start looking boring. Like what we do, like what he basically tries to do, because what happens is that Shaitan, we pray. We pray and everything, and we memorize stuff like that. But how many memorize in our own language what the surah that you got people that hafiz, but they don't know what they're reciting. So they could be, it might as well be Spanish or anything because they don't know what it means. It may sound nice to them, it may sound beautiful and this, that, and the other and stuff like this, but they don't know what it means. So it's like, yeah, I'm Hafiz of Quran. Okay, what does, that long verse, that Bakra you just recited, what does it mean? Oh, I don't know, you know. It just sounds nice. So what happens is that when a person doesn't know what they're memorizing, how can you really be excited about it? Or how can it be interesting to you? How can prayer be interesting to you? The reality is that the Sahaba, they used to see, when they had problems, they used to pray. But we see prayer as a problem. It's like, oh, man's got to pray. Like, man won't say that, but that's the reality. The companions, when they had problems, they used to pray, and they used to enjoy it, and they used to get sakina, and they used to look forward to the salah. But we kind of unfortunately see it like a job that has to be done, like an obligation. So what Shaitan does is he makes us find, first of all, what he makes us do, not memorize, know what we're reciting, not know the meaning of what we're reciting. And then he starts making us pray late. And then what happens, slowly, one prayer goes, then the next prayer goes. And what Shaitan does is he gets us in, when he, at the same time he's making prayer get boring, start listening to music. Because it is impossible for a person to be deep into prayer and deep into music. It's impossible. A person cannot be deep on deen and deep into music because they contradict each other. They contradict each other. You'll never find a person who's deep into music and deep into prayer. So what will happen? One has to give way. Either the music has to give way or the prayer has to give way. And what happens is that once one prayer goes, another prayer goes, another prayer goes, another prayer goes, what happens is that once the salat goes, every sin becomes small. Swearing becomes small. Mixing with girls becomes small. Being rude to your pet. Everything becomes once, because of what the prayer is, the prayer kind of makes you feel guilty. For example, now, if someone's praying, they pray, and then what happens is that they go outside and they hear people swearing, using F words and S words. You think astaghfirullah, you feel it takes away from your iman. It's like, if you go outside, you pray, and you pray properly. I'm not talking about when you're just like a robot and you're just going through that function. When you think about, you're praying and you're thinking about what you're saying, you pray with khushu' and you actually pray properly and think about it. If you go outside and there's naked girls and stuff like that, you say astaghfirullah and you turn away. You don't want to see it. If you pray and you come out and someone's blasting tunes and you think astaghfirullah, it's like, I was trying to be good, I don't want to hear this stuff. But once the prayer goes, your guilt, your remorse, it goes. And then what happens, that's when you slowly start seeing a brother, you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's always listening to swear words, it's nothing. He's always watching naked girls on music videos, it's nothing. He starts putting his arm, like hanging out with girls, it's nothing. He starts going cinema, shisha cut, it's nothing. That sister who's praying, Shaitan don't just come up to her and go take your hijab off and go do zina with this guy. No, it doesn't say that. Slowly it's like one prayer, the other prayer, the next prayer, music, this, that, and the other. Then she tries to make her hijab look sexy, wear Catwoman abaya, and then start with Spider-Man abaya, and this, that, and the other, and then little scarf and tight jeans, and slowly she tries to make hijab look sexy, which doesn't make sense because hijab is supposed to be modest. And slowly, till she's in a shisha cat smoking on this big cigar thing and this, that, and the other, and she's got some little scarf thing on, you know what I'm saying, guys are coming up to her, putting their arms around her, this, that, and the other. Shaitan didn't come up to her when she was wearing full hijab and everything. That's slowly he works on us. So the whole thing is that we need brothers around us, friends around us that remind us, that push us, learn the meaning of this, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to memorize this, you know what I'm saying? Send him this talk, send him this lecture, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do this thing, like, compete with each other. Keep us, like, a real brother, you know what I'm saying? If you're walking down the street and the sisters there says, Aki, don't look, We need brothers because this is the reality. We're weak human beings. And as human beings, we forget, and as human beings, we sin. And the only way we combat this is with good companionship. The two main things, every brother I know that's tried to practice deen, the two hardest things that have stopped most people and stopped most people from practicing now is music and bad company. Once a brother, he gets rid of music and that kind of, he achieves so much things. So many brothers, mashallah, they start coming, like, once they start hanging around the masjid, they start coming to the slats and this, that, and the other, they start making new friends. They achieve so much in a short space of time. But do you know what shaitan comes up to you if you've never practiced? Alhamdulillah, most brothers, I think that they started practicing because their father's practicing or they've always been on deen. But there's some brothers who's never practiced. And what shaitan does, while they're in that life of music and bad company, shaitan says, you can't practice, you can't go without music, you can't go without this girlfriend, you can't go without, what is it, you can't go without hanging out with these people, you're too weak, you're too weak. And because they've never practiced, they've never tasted the sweetness of Iman, they believe it. And some people, they die in that state because they've never really fought, or really tried to make good friends. You see what I'm saying? And shaitan just keeps saying to them, you can't pray, you can't stay away from music, you can't stay away from me, you can't stay away from this girl. You're too weak, you're impossible. And because they've never practiced, they don't do it. But you brothers, alhamdulillah, it seems that, mashallah, some of you, alhamdulillah, you've been practicing in your youth, you know? And one thing I want to say to you, because they say that, what is it, curiosity kills the cat. And alhamdulillah, it's good if you have a practicing mother and you have a practicing father and this, that, and the other. But don't let shaitan trick you, yeah, that you're missing out on something. Wallahi, 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 don't. If you've been practicing all your life and you haven't really been out there, you've never smoked weed, you've never, you know what I'm saying, been to a nightclub, shisha cafe, this, that, and the other. This is one thing that shaitan uses against brothers that have been practicing or come from a good family, that, boy, you don't know what you're missing out on. Maybe you should just try it once and then come back. I advise you all, yeah, to just, whenever shaitan, he whispers to you with this falseness, yeah, to ignore him. Because unfortunately, and especially the brothers that are on deen, because you have some brothers that they're on deen, they're praying only 5 prayers and this, that, and the other, but occasionally they listen to music and this, that, and the other, and that life is tempting to them. It's calling them, the girls, the drugs, the taking shortcuts to make money. Let me explain to you why it's not worth you going out there. Unfortunately, people like me, well, I say alhamdulillah because I wouldn't change anything, because I'm glad that I grew up in Jahiliyyah, because no one can fool me now that anything is out there that I need to go into, because I grew up on haram, so I know there's nothing out there. But be thankful that you're born into a Muslim family. When you see all these music videos, I don't know if you don't know, you're a bit too young, there's a group of rappers called So Solid, there's a lot of rappers out there, PDC, there's a lot of these guys and people out there rapping and stuff like that. I don't think you lot really understand how much of a blessing it is to be born into a Muslim family. I suppose there's people like rich people who are born into wealth, because they've been born into wealth and they've never been poor. They don't really understand how good they got it, so they waste money on stupid things. For example, I grew up in a place called Battersea, and in South London. What you have is so beautiful, but maybe because you haven't grown up in it, it may be tempting to want to live our life where we come from. But let me just show you what it's like. Go down to any estate in London, and go to the non-Muslim. Yeah, go down to any estate in London, pick a random, any estate in London. And you'll see, maybe, say you see 10 non-Muslim kids all hanging out on, there's no playgrounds, but the busted down council estate hall. Then you ask them, excuse me, do you know your father? No. Excuse me, do you know your father? No. Do you know your father? No. You go for all of them, no, they know their father. The best scenario is that one person knows his father and he sees him every couple of years. That's it, most probably. But out of 10 kids, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, we don't know our fathers. Now, people think, yeah, but what's that got to do with being Muslim? The fact is that take another Muslim family, take a Muslim family that lives on the same estate. But you see mother and father there, yeah, 10-year marriage, 15-year marriage, 30-year marriage, 25-year marriage. This is common, it's normal. Most Muslim kids, you know your mother and you know your father. Do you know what it's like when it's normal for kids not to know who their father is. Most of them don't know who our father is, don't know where he is, don't know where he had a kid. Like, if you left your wallet or your phone or your credit card or your car keys somewhere, yeah, you'd think the person that's concerned, he goes and looks for it, he goes back to the place he was, he checks. Imagine someone has, not one kid, a couple of kids, and he just leaves them and he's just out there, raving, clubbing, smoking, just that, living a player lifestyle and this, that, and the other. So, this is normal for us. So, that you're saying, shut your mouth, dad, dad's a waste, man, don't talk to me, slam the door in his face and this, that, and the other. You know who the person, there's two people that went into, that are responsible for creating you after the permission of Allah. You know who they are. It's sad if you spend most of the time arguing with them or being rude to them. Most of us, we hate our fathers. We would, if we weren't Muslim, we'd do something bad to them if we found out who they were. Because obviously their car keys and their credit cards and their wallet is more important than us. But after the anger and everything, we would like to have at least one conversation. Like, Father, what happened? How come you just had me and you just left? Because what you don't understand behind this music video, you see, because music videos are lies. Like, you see the music videos, you see the guy in the club with the girls hot, like you see the guy, he's there in the club, you know what I'm saying, he's drinking champagne, smoking drugs, and he's got the latest car, it's like, but you don't understand. That girl that he's with in the video, in real life, what happens to her? She gets pregnant and she gets dashed. She'd be like, I'm pregnant, don't phone my phone again, I'll punch you in the face. That car that he owned, he robbed a businessman, he robbed a bank, he put a gun in someone's head. The clothes, all the blingy clothes and all this stuff, it wasn't given to him by Versace and Louis Vuitton and that. He either robbed someone or beat someone up and then he got the money to do it. So that's an illusion. All these sisters that watching music videos and see Beyonce and Rihanna and all these girls walking around half naked and stuff, yeah, and they're getting attention in the videos. When you just like that, you walk like, yes, you will get attention. But a guy will tell you he loves you, but really you're just number 10 girl that I'm going to sleep with and throw away. That's all you are. A number of a girl who I'm going to sleep with and I'm going to throw you away, like the other girls in my phone. That's the reality situation. All these sisters that are doing makeup and doing their hair up and wearing tight clothes on Facebook, standing like this, posing half naked and this, that, and the other. Get all these, excuse my French, but I have to be honest with these sisters. All these Barbied up, made up sisters and this, that. Get all of your friends that go to these shivshikas and think you know about life. Get all of them, all 6 or 12 of you, who have boyfriends, whatever that is. I don't know what boyfriend is. You're just the number in his phone of a person who wants to do zina with stuff for love. But the whole thing is that put all your relationships together. 2-month relationship, 3-month relationship, 4-month relationship. Look at your mother. Take one mother, one Somali mother, Eritrean, Sudanese mother, practicing mother on deen, trying to follow the Quran and Sunnah. Didn't have to put no lipstick on, didn't have to wear no tight jeans, didn't have to take no pictures half naked on Facebook. What she got? 30-year marriage, 20-year marriage, 15-year marriage. What did she do? Was she ever a girlfriend? No, she was never a girlfriend. She followed the Quran and Sunnah, did things the halal way, and what she got to show, she got married, she got kids, she got a whole family to show for it. Which one of these girls that dress up half naked, put all the makeup on, and this, that, and you're gonna have a year relationship, let alone a 30-year, 25, nothing. No, you get sorry, the number you're currently calling is currently unavailable, please try back later. Then next time you call, the chip's not even on the phone, finish, you're done, you're pregnant, in the park crying somewhere, bogey coming out with, you know, yeah, it's true, the last wife, the most wise, I should not have been a girlfriend and so forth. That's the reality situation. What you have, you don't know, and these music videos are lying to you. Don't work, do robberies, you'll make lots of money. Really? To be honest, you see your fathers, I'll be honest with you. Your fathers that are cab drivers, your fathers that are bus drivers, your fathers that, whatever work they're doing, they make more than most drug dealers anyway, to be honest. To be honest, on a regular basis, they're making G's and this, that, and they're making more money, this, that, and the other. The reality is the situation, you have it beautiful. A working father, a loving mother, a stable family, mashallah. And these music videos that if you've been practicing all your life, maybe shaitan's using it to get you. Because alhamdulillah, you're practicing and you're praying and this, that, and the other. But maybe you're thinking, I wonder what it's like to go shooting camp. I wonder what it's like to, you know what I'm saying, to try some drugs. I went for that. So, there's nothing like that. Let me tell you a story. There was a guy I know, two of the people that I used to hang around with, they were older than me. One guy, he was full on this rapper lifestyle. And what he used to do, he used to go from this country to Jamaica and come back and forth, back and forth. And he did this for years. And he was living a life. He got young already, he's really young. He's got a young face, he's driving the latest car and this, that, and the other. A car that people have to like spend a lot of their lives saving up for. Just like he's driving this club, pulling outside clubs in this car. People know him, girls, everything. He was carrying drugs inside himself, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back. He made a lot of money. Then one day, the drugs, they burst inside of him. This guy, he died crawling on a pavement. A woman came up to him and said, let me call the ambulance. So he said, no, 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 no. And he basically crawled away from the woman and died alone. You know why he told the woman, don't call the ambulance? Because obviously when the ambulance comes, they're going to find him with drugs in him. And he's doing cocaine and crack and all that. So he's going to go away for a long time. So he died there. Now, the whole thing, was it worth it? Now, he's dead. He died in his early 30s and this day. He's dead now. So yeah, he made a bit of money. He was famous or whatever. But he died on the street like a dog with drugs inside of him. And look, if he really was a bad boy, why was he afraid? Why? Because he knows he's going to way to jail for double figures and his life is going to be nothing. Yeah? So basically, the whole thing I'm trying to say to you, there is nothing out there. Whether you look at the clubbing lifestyle, where is it? People play music, this, that, playing music and this, that, and the other, jumping up and down like monkeys and this, that. Okay, they're listening to music, this, that. They're gonna have to stop. When you get older, like I said, a man is not gonna go to the club with his walking stick and his teeth like that. You grow up, you mature. They're making their money. Listen, you have to work. Either you work or you go jail, simple. You might do crime for a little while, but you're gonna get caught eventually. We're Muslims, we have to work. That's what we do, we work. We don't follow other people, we work. You know, the girls, come on man, they cannot be trusted. If you didn't go to the club, you would have gone home with someone else. The sisters who are idolizing these girls, look up, go to any council estate. You don't need to, you know what I'm saying? You don't need, it's clear to see. Look at all these girls that are into this music. They're all single mothers, single mothers, single mothers, single mothers, 3 kids, 4 kids, this, that. Don't even know where their father is. Imagine to the sisters, if there is any sisters. Listen, imagine your daughter, yeah? And you say to you never see your father, and you say to your mother, one day you ask your mother, you say to your mum, who's my father? And she goes, well, I'm not sure, you know, who your father is. I can tell you who I think your father is. One day, like normal, on the weekend, I went clubbing half naked as normally, this, that, and the other, because I got, you know, raving and clubbing half naked, hoping the guy will pick me up. And there was some guy, he asked me for my number. I didn't know his surname, I didn't know his mum, I didn't know his dad and that. And I did dinner with him, and I think that's your father. But I'm not sure if it's your father, because the week before I went clubbing, and some other guy who looked nice, I did dinner with him. Or it could be some other guy. Because that's what I'm saying, this dunya, the reality of kufr, shirk, dunya, the life without Islam, it's ugly, it's fake. It looks beautiful on the outside, it looks beautiful in this, that, and the other, and so forth. But the reality situation, broken down relationships, crime, depression, misery, upset. Why do you think so many, tens of thousands of young boys are becoming Muslim? In jail, so many people are becoming Muslim. Why? Why are they choosing to wake up and pray five times a day in the morning? Why? Why are people in jail deciding not to smoke, not to drink, not to get rid of their guilt? Why? When they're free not to, when not to. Why? Because we just following this lifestyle. Yeah. we're just following this lifestyle because we know no better. Yeah, we're just following this lifestyle because we have no alternative. But as soon as we hear about Tawheed, as soon as we hear about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as soon as we see the life of Islam, marriage, purity, substance. Because you know what it is you know what how it feels to be a non-Muslim. You know that feeling when you leave your house, or you're leaving your house, you close the door, and then something's missing, but you can't put your mind on what? It's your keys, it's your phone, something's missing, and that thing bugs you, you don't know what it is, but something is definitely missing. See, what happens is after a certain amount of time, when you're walking down the street or you remember, you get that relax of kind of that's what it is, it's my phone, it's my keys. And once you get that kind of revealment of, yeah, everything's normal now, you start feeling comfortable again. When you're a non-Muslim, you have that feeling, but your whole life is like that. What's wrong? Something's missing. You try to fill it with music, it's still there, that feeling is still there, something's missing. I may be listening to music, I may have girlfriends, I may be clubbing, but there's a hole. What is it? I don't know what it is, but something's missing. And your whole life is like that, but people listen to music, you know what I'm saying? That's why you see these people, educated people. If you go London, or even I'm sure here in Manchester, go on the weekend, yeah? There's a girl, she got GCSE, she got degree, she got PhD, whatever. She's in a freezing cold in a miniskirt, yeah? And wearing high heels, yeah? And her high heels hurt so much that she takes them off and she walks on the floor that people are urinating on and this, that, and the other. And she says, yeah, why are you dressing like that? Ain't you cold? Yeah, I dress like this because I'm free to dress like this. No, you're cold though, you're shivering. You took your high heels off. So why is she doing it? Because she tried to fill that hole of attention. If guys look at me and whisper at me, that means I'm special. Guys try to fill that hole with weed and music and this, that, and the other and so forth. Like, why would a guy, he leaves his house there, a smart guy, GCSE, like I said, degree, everything. He may be a teacher during the week, IT consultant during the week. On Friday night, it's like he's a gremlin. He leaves his house, brain working, suited, everything. But everything that he's vomiting, he's urinating on himself, he's drunk, he's paying to get drunk and get out of his head. How can if you're happy and you're enjoying yourself, why would you pay yourself to get out of it? To get out, to drink until, I don't know, he ends up in bloody, I don't know, he ends up in bloody, I don't know, Liverpool or somewhere. Like, if you're happy, why would you get drunk? Out and get wobbly and all this stuff? Why? Because we have this hole and we don't know to fit. So what happens is when you have no salat, when you have no tawheed and you're living your life like that, you become depressed. And that's why you're always listening to music, always smoking weed, always drinking, always this, that, and the other, because you're trying to fill the gap. And alhamdulillah, you don't have that gap. You have salat, you have deed, you have all this stuff. So all I say, inshallah, as I wrap up now, is basically, alhamdulillah, it seems, mashallah, that from visiting this, you have a lot of brothers on deen. I think you even like practicing. I think you even have a lot more people practicing in most areas and so forth. You have, alhamdulillah, inshallah. Just keep on doing what you're doing. Be brothers for each other. Remember, find out what you're memorizing, what it actually means in your own language, so you actually know what it, so it's exciting to you. Be brothers for each other for the sake of Allah. And at the end of the day, is that just when you're slipping, just help each other to practice the deen. You know what I'm saying? And just remember that the majority of people is never proof. Some prophets, they never had any followers. When you try to follow the haqq, you're going to find yourself alone at most of the time. You're going to find yourself alone a lot of the time. But the point is this. Let me leave you with this hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A lot of people, I don't think they realize that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he started calling to worship Allah alone, a lot of people think, what's the big deal that he was calling to worship Allah? It couldn't have been that bad or that. But it was, because I don't think you know, but Mecca, yeah, there was one reason why people came to Mecca, and one reason only, the people came to Mecca to worship false gods. And you've got to remember that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was an honest man. For what, 40 years people knew him to be honest and told the truth, and people trust him with everything. They trust him, he was known as the trustworthy one. Now, Mecca made its money, the chiefs of Mecca made their money by people coming to worship, these false gods. So, now the most truthfulest man in the world, in Mecca, start saying that he's receiving revelation. Now people ain't got a problem with that because he's a truthful man and they believe him to be a truthful man. But when they start saying now that there's only one God that has the right to be worshipped, not that there's no God but Allah, but there's only one God that has the right to be worshipped, they start thinking, wait a minute, so you're saying that basically that we should stop people coming and bring their money here to worship the gods and this, that and the other and so forth, and taking money from tourism for people coming to worship the gods, but that means we're going to be broke. And Prophet Muhammad was saying, but this is the truth. So it wasn't just about he was saying that they were saying there's many gods and he's saying there was God. It was about money, because now we're going to be broke and we can't be broke because there's no other reason why people come to Mecca. So they sent his uncle there, obviously just basically sweet talk him out of it to say, listen, okay, Muhammad, you're saying there's one God, we're saying that there's many, let's compromise, because we're not going to be broke, that is not possible, So they sent his uncle to him and said, listen, tell your cousin or tell Prophet Muhammad to stop saying this call, because if he doesn't stop saying this call, we're going to have to kill him. And what you got to remember, the Quraysh, before Islam, this tribe, they were like barbaric cavemen. They used to, bury their daughters alive. They used to kill each other over tribes and racism. Like they were just a mess. And if they can bury their own daughters alive, then they're not going to have a problem with killing the next person. So they said, oh, okay, when Muhammad started preaching, they said, okay, tell Muhammad, since he won't stop that, he calls to his God half of the year, and then we call to our God the other half of the year. So what happens is that they try to bribe him, they try to say they give him money, they try to say they give him women, they try to say they can make him the ruler, as long as he agrees to, let them worship their gods. But the thing is, it didn't work. So when they exhausted all the possibilities and it still weren't working, they just said, look, we're going to kill him. And they sent the Prophet's uncle to him to tell him to stop the message. So the point is this, is that when they sent the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam this message, and this is why we have hadith and ayats and stuff, because like I said, when we start listening to music and we're into movies and stuff like that, when we hear the Prophet said, or the messenger said, our mind just switches off. Shaitan just got like, I don't want to hear this, but we're supposed to listen to hadith so that they motivate us in life. A lot of the brothers that I know, the brothers that converted to Islam and stuff, they didn't stop being criminals and robbing and stealing and robbing banks and robbing shops and robbing business, all these things because how can I say, because of police or because of court. They stopped it for one reason only, the descriptions of hellfire. This is why they work now, is descriptions of judgment day and hellfire. They realize, as streetwise people, the punishment is not worth. They realize, as streetwise people, the punishments for robbing and stealing and hurting other people, I cannot handle on the day of judgment, so I left it. So the whole point is, we're supposed to read hadiths and so forth, to inspire me. Because if you don't hear new information, new hadiths, new ayats and stuff, then you're going to find it boring. You're not going to have that push. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when they sent him a message, when they tried to give him women, it didn't work. They tried to give him money, it didn't work. They tried to make him rule, it didn't work. And they tried to say, listen, let us worship our gods one part of the year, you worship your God part of the year. He said, listen, and this is what we should do in our daily life. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, if you put the sun in my right hand and you put the moon in my left hand, I will not give up this message. And after that point, they realized that there's no sweet talk in this guy, there's no giving him women, giving him money, it's not gonna work. And then after they started to fight him and this time. The point of my saying is that we're supposed to remember these things. When someone sends us music on Facebook, on Twitter, someone tries to invite us to shishikaf, someone tries to say hang out of this bad crowd, we're supposed to remember this hadith that the Prophet said. When his uncle came to him and said to him, look, they won't offer you women, they won't offer you money, they won't offer you rulership. We should remember this hadith. No, I'm sorry. If you put the sun in my right hand and you put the moon in my left hand, I will not give up this deen. I'm not a sheep, I'm not a yes man, I'm not a follower, I'm a Muslim, and I follow Allah and His Messenger. And if you don't want to be my friend, cool. I'd rather be on deen and be friendless than be off deen, earning Allah's anger and have lots of waste man around me. That's what you should do. And just remember the hadith. If you put the sun in my right hand and the moon in my left hand, I will not give up this message. And that's my advice, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan for listening. Done. You want me to do this? Okay. Basically, they said if you have any questions, if you have any questions, inshallah, I'll try to answer them if they're my capability, inshallah. If not, it's not a problem. I'll hand over to whoever. No problem, everyone's shy here. It's not a problem.
I can ask you a question.
No problem.
You've given. What would you suggest as alternatives to the people that you've advised? You say stay away from shisha cafes and things like that. Do you have any practical advice that are very useful?
That's a very good question. I think this is twofold because basically the reality is we're growing up in the West. So what the elders have to do, you have to make things up for the brothers. Whether it's martial arts, boxing, a youth centre or something. You have to have an alternative for them. The elders, you have to set up something else for them to do, for a place for them to hang out, whether it's got computers there and that and this and the other, and so forth. And maybe it could be just something like football, basketball, whatever, but when the prayer comes in, you pray to that. Sometimes there doesn't have to be a direct lesson going on, but when prayer comes in, you pray all this, that, and the other. But there has to be things like this set up. Is there things like this set up for youth?
There's facilities available, but not directly.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Well, what is it that basically, I'm sure the brothers and stuff like that, the youth need, how needs to happen is that the Prophet said that he who does not respect the elders is not from us, and he who doesn't show mercy to youth is that. So what happens needs to do is that you need to youth for the elders. You need to youth because the youth know how the youngers think. Yeah, but you also need the wisdom of the elders because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, they don't think, they've been through life, they have certain experience, both have their qualities and stuff like that. But I think you just need to set up, there has to be things set up for them to do. Like I said, you can have football, you can have basketball, but the salat comes in and everyone has to pray. Even if you don't want to pray, let them just be there. It's good around the praying. Invite people that inshallah, that you can connect with the youth and this, that, and so forth. But at the end of the day, for the youth, the actual person who's this guy is going out to, you can't force anybody to practice. If a person decides that they want to go out there, they want to go shisha cafe, this, that, and the other, you can build 1,000,000 shisha cafes around them. They have to decide that I want to practice. Sometimes, unfortunately, people have to make their own mistakes. And this is the sad thing is that sometimes it's good and sometimes bad. You can tell the person all the hadiths, all the ayats, whatever, take them to all the talks, and it could just go in one area and out the other. Some people have to make their own mistakes, and then what happens, they make their own mistakes and they come back to deen. The only problem with that, you can make your own mistakes and you can get shot, you can get stabbed, you can get life in jail. Same thing with sisters. Some sisters, they take off their hijab and this, that, and the other, thinking that it's going to be some nice life out there. Some guy breaks their life, breaks their heart, they start crying or whatever, this, that, and the other. They feel the pain, they get mashed up, then they come back to deen, and then they know what outside it's not wise to go out there. But then some of them go out there and they get pregnant in the process as well. And they never get back on deen, and then they have a youth that's not on deen and so forth. So it's like, a person has to decide that I believe in Jahannam, I believe in Jannah, and I want to practice. But all we can do is set up youth clubs, make things easy for the youth, like set up things for them, invite speakers that relate to them, but are obviously on a proper understanding of Islam, yeah, and create things for the ones that do want to change and so forth. But no one can force anyone to practice. But yeah, I think the youth of this masjid, mashallah, they have a young imam here, mashallah, that is here. He should just, and some of the other youth, like I see the brothers here in program, the elders are going to have to meet up, and you both have to compromise. You both have to leave the shabab are not shabab that are jahil, that have no good ideas, and the elders are not people who are just old and don't know nothing and this, that, and that. You both have to meet halfway and do that, because you both have stuff to offer, you know. And if the youth just try to do it on their own, they're going to make mistakes, and if the elders just try to do it on their own, then it might not work for the youth. So you have to compromise, and it's a good question stroke statement that if there isn't something set up, inshallah, hopefully the brother, he could be a part of as well, and speak to the brothers and get something going, inshallah. Jazakallah khair for the question. Anyone else got anything? Cool, I won't be offended, don't worry. Is the table falling down? Yeah. Jazakallah khair. Thank you, subhanAllah, there's quite a few brothers. I'm not sure if there's any sisters there, but anyone who took their free time to come out and listen to the talk, inshallah, I'm grateful, because you didn't have to be here. You could be doing a million other things, and I appreciate it. And thank you for inviting me all the way up from London to come and speak all the way in Manchester. At the end of the day, nobody, I'm just a brother who converted to Islam, and I don't like to see the Muslim youth making the same mistakes for me, but the fact that I can actually speak in a masjid like this, I'm very grateful to you, so I'm humbled and jazakallah khair to everyone. And please, I ask you, when you go home, inshallah, please make dua for me that Allah forgives my mistakes and my sins, yeah? And forgives me that when Yom Qiyamah, and helps me to, and Allah pardon me from the hellfire, inshallah. That's why I ask for you. Don't come up to me and say, mashallah, this, that, and the other, brother. Just make dua for me that Allah has mercy on me and that I avoid the hellfire, inshallah. I would really, really appreciate that. Really. Jazakallah khair.
Just close it.
To stop it, you just close it.